Yo, it's Evan from Octane and Electrons, and I've got a cool video today. So I'm going to be doing a video on installing and checking out the Fisch Moto electric start kit for the Yamaha YZ250. So you can see here, I've got a 2013 YZ250 here. That's my bike. And I'm bought this bike for a special project. Been developing a 150 watt charging system for the YZ250 for RM Stator, where I work. And so I bought this bike for that project, and just about done. We are able to have a 150 watt charging system with a DC or battery powered CDI box, programmable ignition, super cool. And it is made to work for Fisch Moto to charge their a battery for their electric start system. And then also RM Stator will have it available, which will be super rad, for just adding charging a battery to add lights. So you'll be able to run lights or whatever DC accessories you want off of your YZ250. But also get it through Fisch Moto and use it with their electric start system. It's going to be awesome. But I wanted to do a video showing how to install it and put the kit on this bike. In development here, I've just been kickstarting it. This bike runs great. Like I said, it's a 2013. It's in nice shape overall. But now that the charging system's sorted, we're going to go ahead and put the electric start kit on it and check that out. I'm super excited. You'll notice as we go through this, I already have the side cover off and all. My stator's going to look different than yours just because there's not 6 wires in the stator plug. And I have some wires out here for the charging system, but we're just going to ignore that, pretend it's a stock stator for this as far as this goes, because I'm just not talking too much about the charging system in this video. This is just showing the electric start install. But in case you're wondering why it looks different, that's why. Okay, let's check it out. First of all, this is awesome. Probably the best packaging I've seen. It is super nice. Now, I already have it kind of opened up and a mess because I've been using parts out of it in my testing here. But I just want to say, like, pulling this out of the box, opening the box, it is like primo. Fully like die cut packaging, foam to like fit everything perfectly. It's just like absolutely premium. So I was super impressed with that. It reminds me of our Revolt regulators packaged like that with die cut foam, like everything's super nice, high quality. It just makes you confident in the parts. So I'm already, right off the bat when I opened it up, I was like, wow. Okay, let's see everything we got. They include an anti-gravity battery that fits well in the airbox, along with the mounting plate. And I already have it mounted because I was using it on the bike before. Mounting brackets for your battery plate. I've been doing some work on the electrics here, so those are screws for the handlebar switch. Okay, really nice wiring harness, wrapped up where the fuses are. Nice starter relay, battery cables, everything sealed connectors, wrapped wiring loom. Awesome electrics, love that. Killer key, what do you call it? Keychain. Zip ties. Sticker, you get all the good stuff in here. Comes with all the hardware, and this is awesome. Comes with Loctite brand thread locker for the hardware, a tool for locating or turning the starter clutch, I think, to line up the gears. Like, these guys thought of everything. I just can't say good enough stuff about them. They are super awesome, really nice guys, great quality product, super smart. So I'm overall very impressed with them. High quality starter motor. And this piece of art right here, their CNC machine side cover. I mean, it is impressive. Look at that. Take some of this out. Like, look at that. Just absolutely premium. So super impressed. Very cool. And then down here is our starter clutch assembly. Also super nice, machined heavy-duty bearings. I mean, look at this thing. I'm just blown away. Super good. Okay, this is rad. Product check by Phil. Thanks, Phil. Here's the gaskets for the cover. new keyway, Woodruff key, and then full instructions, great instructions. I've already read through them, so I probably won't like necessarily show them step by step, but that's the kit. It is really well put together, and I'm excited to get started. Okay, so again, we're going to ignore the charging system stuff I'm talking about, just install the starter. We'll do a video later on the charging system focusing on that. This is all about how to install the electric start kit. So we have a 2013 YZ250, good running bike, kick starts easily. It's running Electron carb and I think V-Force reeds and Pro Circuit exhaust, all the bolt-on stuff. Otherwise, pretty stock bike. Just in nice shape. And okay, so to get started, I'm not going to show you all that. Take your seat off, take your side panels off, remove your gas tank. Can leave your fenders on. Nothing to do there. And let's come around to the side. So in my next shot, I'll have the gas tank pulled off. Other things you want to do, I still need to remove it, but remove your shift lever down here and then remove your side cover. So pretty easy to remove your side cover. You just have bolts all the way around. Of course, I already have it off because I've been working on that, but here you can see my side cover is pulled. And this bike had a weighted flywheel installed on it that was way too deep and had ground down the side cover. That's nice, but I'm installed a stock flywheel, so we're not running the weighted one anymore. Okay, so get to that point. Let me get the rest of that stuff removed, and then the next shot we'll start prepping the side cover. Okay, so pulled the gas tank, pulled the shifter off, so now we got a clear shot at the side cover. And I'm going to try and show you everything well. I filmed this myself. Just got a little tripod here, so maybe the angles aren't always perfect, but hopefully we can see everything. Okay, so we are going to go through the instructions. I don't know what I was talking about. We're going to follow these bad boys. First thing, after we got everything removed, they want us to trim the edge of the rubber stator grommet so it's flush with the case. So if you look over here, you can see the grommet for the stator. I have it fully inserted in the crankcase. Make sure it's all the way in. Yep. Okay. And you can see it sits or it doesn't sit flush. It like protrudes just a little bit. So I'm gonna take a fresh razor blade and we're gonna trim that, just going right along the edge of the side cover or the edge of the crankcase. We'll come at it from both sides. Okay, and make sure it's flush all the way around. I think I got it almost. Okay. All right, there we go. So now you can see I can run my finger along it. We're flush with both sides. Perfect. Okay, next step. We need to remove, use a 17 mil socket, remove the nut from the crank and the washer behind it. So here is the nut, and behind it there is a washer. I'm going to use my impact gun here. Mine's already been installed and removed 100 times as I've been working on this project. Okay, then right behind it will be the washer. You can try, usually remove it with a little pick. Come on. All right. You could use 2 picks. I happen to still have my flywheel puller here, so I'm just going to pop off the flywheel real fast. You can use 2 picks or 2 little screwdrivers, whatever you want. But I'm going to go ahead and remove it to show you the Woodruff key, because there is a note here on their instructions. It's probably hard to read, but step 7, use a 17 mil socket to remove nut from the crank. Step 8, remove the washer behind it. And it's attention, make sure you follow every step. So they really want to make sure you do that, because that is apparently going to cause problems. Well, for sure when you put the starter clutch mechanism on. But we're going to pull it off so we can, I already know it's good, but we can check the Woodruff key, because they include a new one. And if your key is in bad shape at all. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to remove my flywheel. So you can see, like I said, I'm running an OEM flywheel now instead of the weighted one. Here is the washer that was behind it. So now I have nut and washer. set those out of the way. Okay, now let's see if I can get a clear shot here. If you look right in there, you can see the woodruff key. So see that little half moon shaped key sitting in the crankshaft? That is your key that locks the flywheel, keys the flywheel to the crankshaft, which is critical for your ignition timing, because you can see we have a keyway right there in the center. That's what slides over it. And that lines up or correlates your timing mark here to the crankshaft, which is totally critical for triggering your pickup coil at the right time. Okay, so that's what you want to check. If you have to replace it, they include a new one. You would pop your stator out, pry that out with a little screwdriver, pry in a new one. I know this stator's not pretty. This is a prototype stator for our charging system. So it's, you know, hand wound and epoxied to seal up the windings, which is perfect for a prototype. Okay, the other thing I'm going to do, let's clean out the side cover. I've been doing a bunch of testing, like I said, and it's kind of a mess in there. So let me grab some. There we go. Carb cleaner will work. Use some brake cleaner, carb cleaner. All right, anything like that. Probably brake cleaner's better. It evaporates super fast, but carb cleaner's not going to hurt. Okay, spray it down. Trying to find my shop towels are in here somewhere. 1 second. Oh, here they are. All right. Okay. So, hose that out, get all the dirt and stuff, because they want you to put some gear oil in here. And we don't need crusty dirt and stuff floating around in the gear oil. Will not be good for the starter mechanism, I'm sure. Okay, cool. So there we go, looking pretty good. We checked our woodruff key. I know it's good, so we're gonna keep using it. We'll save the new one they included. Put my flywheel back on. So you just slide it on, rotate it around till your keyway lines up, and it'll slide in a little bit. Okay, perfect. All right, so all that's done. Now they want you to pull out the grommet and clean the edges, and they want you to RTV all the grommet edges to seal the grommet into the case. So that's, you know, on a stock motor, this is a dry, or, you know, on a motor with no electric start, it's a dry cover. There's no oil in here, unless your crank seal is leaking. And this is just to keep water and moisture out and stuff. So it's not, you know, super, like, critical. It's not going to hurt even if some did get in there. But now that there's going to be some oil floating around in here, they want you to seal it, which no problem. So you can see our grommet here. So I'm going to pop it out. It's already clean. This is a new grommet with our new stator. So I'm going to get some RTV, and then we will seal that up. And then also grab the gasket that's going to go over this. So let me get all that prepared. Okay, so here we go. Of course, they include awesome Loctite black RTV, so you don't even need to buy any, which is awesome. I was going to look for mine and realized, nope, it's already in the bag. And you're going to need your gasket, because we're going to put some RTV on that to stick it in place. Okay, but let's start with the grommet. So trying to make sure we have a good shot here so we can see it all. While I do this, okay, cool. All right. So I'm going to open up the RTV. There we go. All right. And they recommend, and I think that's a great idea, to use a small flathead screwdriver to kind of press it in here. That should work great. So I'm going to start by squeezing it down in the groove. And like always with RTV, use plenty, but you don't need to go crazy overboard with it. So fill up the groove. I don't know. Maybe I use too much. Use a screwdriver. Make sure it's pressed down in there. Nice. Okay. Now I'm going to flip my grommet around. Line it up. And press it into place. And make sure down here at the bottom that you have it totally caught in its groove. Because I've noticed these YZ grommets, like, they can be easy for the bottom part to kind of pinch out. Okay, so our grommet's sealed and in place. Now the other thing, and that's why you got to trim it. Oh shit! Push it too hard. That's why you got to trim it flat, is because we're putting a gasket over this. Okay. All right. Then they want you to put some RTV on the gasket, really to act as glue. I don't think it's probably not super critical here for sealing, but you can see in their picture, the red right there shows you the areas. So 2 kind of at the top and 1 down there around the grommet. So no problem. Gonna RTV that. And my grommet's down here. Okay, so I kind of have it on there. I'm gonna spread it around kind of smooth here. You know what? I'm gonna do a few more spots. I do a lot of times on stator covers, I will use a thin line of RTV because I'm a fan of it for sealing well. Nice. Okay. Got some good coverage there. Gonna line it up. Set it in place. Nice. Looking good. Check my grommet again. Okay, feels good. Okay, right on. So now I have my gasket lined up. And what's our next step going to be? We need a 10mm Allen key with a 3-inch drive to hold onto the gear. So we're gonna install the starter clutch assembly. Let me grab that, be right back. Okay, we have our premium Harbor Freight torque wrench. I have a nice digital one at home and I forgot it. Set to 45 foot-pounds. Let's crank this down. Perfect. All right. So, starter clutch is done. Let's get our grommet back into place. Or gasket, I mean, sorry. Okay. All right. So we did all that. Make a note of the lip inside the E-start housing. Align it. Its bolt pattern. Slightly angle it to get it on over the lip. Place E-start on the crank housing. Okay. Let me grab the housing and let's get that lined up. Okay, here is our awesome housing. So let's look at it. Here's the lip they're talking about. You can see it right under here. So it looks like you do have to kind of hook that part from underneath. Let's move our wiring out of the way. Okay, and I see. So when you put it on, you do have to cup that lip from underneath to get it around the gear. Definitely can feel that. Okay, and then let's see. I feel a little resistance. Let me see if there's any notes. Make a note of the lip on the U-start housing. Align the starter housing bolt pattern to the flywheel housing's bolt pattern. Slightly angle it to get the gear into the lip. That part's no problem. Okay, place E-start housing flat onto the crank housing. If it does not sit flush, locate the gear alignment tool. I think that's this up here. That's like a little funnel, I think, for oil, and it lets you turn the intermediate gears. and you can rotate that until it sits flat. Okay, makes sense. So I'm gonna try to line it up. It's close, but it does not line up. I'm gonna turn the gears. Let's see here. Oop, there it is. Okay, so like one final turn and I got them to line up and it pops right on. Close clearance with our Pro Circuit exhaust here, but I don't know, that this is pretty bent. The pipe might be bent, I'm not sure. So, but certainly clears, just tight. Okay, then once you have it installed, hand tighten 5 of the provided bolts in the locations marked using a 5mm Allen key. We have a bag of the bolts right here. Dump them out. Grab a 5mm Allen. Okay, and the 5. So they want us to put these in around here, around the edges, no problem. Line this up. Get these started. One, go down here, there is 2. Go down here and check my grommet. Yep, grommet's still captured in the cover. Just making sure everything's sitting tight in there. Yep. Good. I still feel like I get so one little edge of the grommet feels like it pokes out, but man, I can't tell for sure. It or not. Down there with a small screwdriver and check. All right, I can't tell. I think it's good. I'm gonna tighten the cover loosely, and I'll get under there with a flashlight and check. Very close. All right, put this in place. This in place. And this in place. Okay, we're not gonna crank them down. Just tighten them, you know, fully by hand with the key. And then I'll make sure the cover's flush. And then I will check. I don't think I can show that very well on camera because I can try and get it down there, but okay, that one's recessed pretty far. There we go. Okay. All right, so all 5 of those are tight. Hand tighten, double check it sits flat. Rotate gear alignment tool to check sprag clutch is working. Yep, feels good. Rotate, okay, gear alignment tool locks up, turn one way, freely the other to indicate it works. So free. Rotate. Well, I don't feel a lockup in the other direction. Interesting. Let's Let's see. So you can see I'm rotating it. I should feel it lock in one direction, but I don't. Huh. All right, well, I'm going to investigate that a little more. Once you have this installed, they want you to let it sit for 24 hours to ensure sealing of the silicone, I assume. And then we'll install the breather hose before we add some oil to it. Okay, so that's fine. I probably am not doing that here because I will for sure have this back off again at some point relatively soon. So I will follow all that on my final installation, but this bike will be taken apart again while I'm still working on this project. Okay, let me investigate that. I'm going to check everything's working, double check my grommet, and then we'll move on to the next step. All right, so here we go. I had to check it out. I think I didn't have the gears aligned right inside when I first installed it. So anyways, took it off, checked everything. I checked my grommet. It's sealing well. I had to readjust it a little bit. On this prototype stator, my wires exit just slightly different location, so they were pushing against it. So I readjusted stuff there. With a stock stator, you're not going to notice that, or a final version of the stator. Okay, and then put it back on, made sure everything is aligned. Here we go. So I got free turning counterclockwise, locking clockwise. Free, lock, free, lock. Okay, cool. So working well. And then the next step is to install the vent hose. So right on the back here, I'll try and show it in a second, there's a push lock for a hose. So you push the hose in, and then if you pull back, it'll kind of lock it in place. I have looked everywhere, and I do not have the vent hose. I've checked the package. I've had this apart and been using pieces for my project here, so it's totally possible I lost it, and I will have to find one. So I can't install the vent hose at the moment, but I certainly will before the bike gets ridden anywhere. I'm going to go ahead and tighten these up. They said 8 foot-pounds. I already know my torque wrench does a horrible job at that range, so I'm not even going to try measuring it. I'm going to use my calibrated hand torque wrench, and I'll probably be pretty close. Okay, right on. There we go. Okay, feels good. Everything feels smooth inside. Lock, free. Okay, right on. Good. So let's try and look down there. Let me grab this if I can show you. So if we look right down here, you can see right there, that gray, that's the push lock. The hose would go in and it kind of compresses and it'll lock it as you pull it backwards. So that's your vent. I'll have to find a hose that fits it or look around. Since Phil rode on there, he packed it. I'm sure he did. So I probably took it out or lost it or something, and I will find a hose that fits. That's, I'm sure, on me. Okay. And then at this step, you would fill it with oil, which, how awesome is this? Their gear alignment tool is also a funnel. These guys are killer. And I believe it's 3D printed, which is awesome. Super cool. So that's where you would fill your oil. It says, where was it? Install the breather hose, run it down along with your other hoses. We'd run it down the side here. So pretend we did that, pushed it in, ran a vent hose down here to exit. All these will be tied up when the bike's finished, obviously. Then you're going to fill it with oil. So it says you use a 5mm Allen key to undo the filler bolt on the E-start housing top. Oh, okay, I guess you're not using this. Sorry, I thought you were. Right here, there is a 5mm Allen right at the top. That's where you fill from. 250 milliliters of 70 weight 90 gear oil in a measuring cup. They recommend Royal Purple Max Gear. And, oh, I see what they're saying. Use the gear alignment tool as a funnel and pour it in. So they want you to remove that, drop this in as a funnel, and pour through it. Awesome. I swear I read this was a funnel somewhere. Nice. Good job, guys. Then put the bolt back in and tighten it. Okay, I was debating, I'm finishing this and I need to do some other work on this bike. I don't think, like I said, I'll probably pull this off again. I was trying to decide. I don't think I'm going to put oil in it right now. I'm going to finish the install and we'll see, because I may be taking this back off again. So I think I'm going to hold up on the oil. But you certainly should do it. Pull the cap, put your oil in, follow their directions. I think I'm going to wait because I would just be draining it probably later today, I think. So we'll see. I'm sure I can do a start on it without killing anything. Maybe I'll pour a little bit in there to make sure there's some lubrication, but I'm certainly not running it or riding the bike or anything that way. Okay, so now we're going to install the starter motor. So, sure, we got to remove this. Grab our awesome starter motor. I recognize this. Looks a lot like the starter on my KTM 250. I assume it's that or something very similar, but who knows. So, set it right there and see what they say. Push in the starter motor as the picture's provided. So they're showing you sliding it right in there. Bolt it in place using two 5mm Allen bolts. Then you're going to pull out the engine lock tool and reinstall the spark plug, reinstall your shifter. Right on. Okay, so let's do this. Now we may have to, move it around a little bit. I'm going to put, I have some oil and stuff that's dripped down here. Okay, put a little bit. Make sure. Here, spit on it. There we go. Lubricate O-ring a little bit. There we go. Just kind of rock it around. Line it up. Oh, too far. I hit the bolt. I'm going to back it out. Okay, got to get the bolt past it. There we go. All right, there we go. So you just move it around a little bit till you get the gears to line up. Perfect. Okay. Now I have two more 5mm bolts. There's two washers here with the bolt kit. I'm assuming... Well, wait. They haven't said to use them yet, so I bet those are used with the battery hanger clamps. Okay. So, and these Allen head bolts have a really large flange on them, so like they probably don't need crucial to have a washer on them. Okay, get those started. Yeah. Okay, tighten this up. Right on. Tighten them up pretty well. Rad. That's looking a lot like a YZ250 with an electric start. Okay, now we readjust this. We can remove our engine lock tool. I'm gonna unthread that from up here. Okay, pull that out. Reinstall our spark plug. Dang, this bike's definitely running a little rich. Have to play with the Electron a little bit, but runs great, but definitely smokes a decent amount. And my mix and my premix is a little rich because I was using it to break in my KTM, so maybe that. We'll see. Okay, tighten that up. Grab my wrench. Tighten up our plug. Nice. Okay. And you know what? I'm cutting this off. I don't like this massive zip tie. Okay. Plug cap back on. Right on. Okay. So that's the hardware install as far as the starter stuff goes. Next is wiring. So let me get prepped for that. Let's see. Well, actually, no. Next is installing the harness and battery. So we'll come to that next. Let me get that stuff lined up, and I got to reposition the camera. Right back. Okay, let's keep rolling. Get our battery installed. I was just lining stuff up so we could see. But, okay, so you have your battery plate right here. It's engraved with Fisch Moto. Looks awesome. Aluminum plate. And then you have two of these L-shaped brackets and another 5mm screw in a washer. So I went ahead and positioned one, just threaded the bolt in loosely. And you use these Velcro straps. As you can see, I have them crossed both ways over this nice, pull a little tighter, anti-gravity battery. And that'll hold your battery in place. Your battery's gonna sit right here behind the air filter. So, like I said, I've strapped the battery in place. I loosely aligned one of the clamps. Now, I loosened these front 2 bolts for the side of the airbox, and then I removed the back 2. That'll let you flip the airbox wings out and give you plenty of room. So, I'm gonna line up the first side. So, pretty easy. I just got it right there. I'm gonna slide my battery back just so it clears these plastic ridges. Like that. Okay, so there's the first one. Now I'm going to grab my second clamp right here, put a washer on it. Okay, I'm going to drop the bolt through from the top, pull this wing out, get it lined up underneath. And get it threaded in to the clamp. So this is awesome. This works well. It's simple. It's clean. Great idea for battery mounting on this. I love it. I have a battery tray I made on my XR650R, and which works great, but it's not enough room in the airbox. So this solution is really nice and clean. I like it. Okay, grabbing my 5mm Allen key. Got the battery in place. Go ahead and tighten these up a bit to hold this. Awesome. Dang, that works great. Okay, snug these down. And man, with those Velcro tight, like, that battery's not going anywhere. Plus it's an anti-gravity lithium, so it can handle the vibration and all. Okay, pull my airbox sides back in place. I'm going to put these bolts back in. Right on. Okay, tighten these back down. Okay, battery installed, super clean. Okay, then let's go ahead and install our handlebar switch. I've already got it in place, so we'll keep this shot going. Move this right over here. You can see I've got stuff on the bars for testing on this bike. A voltmeter and a tack for testing the charging system. Okay, I'm trying to line that up good. Okay, right on. So, easy to install the handlebar switch. I loosened my brake perch so I could slide it inwards. And I went ahead and unplugged the handlebar switch from the harness. So there we go. And then you undo it with 2 Phillips head screws underneath. That splits it in half. Slide it over. Get it in place right here next to your throttle. Slide the 2 halves together. And then go ahead and screw this back together. Okay. Get the other side. Good and tight so it doesn't rotate much on the bars. Nice. Okay. Then I'm going to bring my brake perch back over. Definitely, it's in about the original spot. That's okay. There's shorty levers on this, which I don't love anyways. I'm going to swap those out for some longer levers. Well, somebody has had this off since the clamp up marking is upside down, but that's okay. This bike's gonna get more going through before a lot of riding, so Not real concerned with stuff being perfect at the moment. Okay, perch installed. Got our wires exiting just below like that. Perfect. All right, then we have our harness right here, which I'm going to look at their directions and see, because I'm not sure how they want to route it. So let me take a look, and then we'll be right back. Actually, here, we can read it. Okay, we installed harness and battery. Done, or not harness, handlebar switch and battery. Clamp the starter button on, done. They want you to run the cable down the left side of the bike along with your brake line and throttle. Okay. And then arrange harness wires so they flow in one direction, as in picture 1. Okay. Right there. Tuck in harness on the right-hand side of the airbox, wires running as shown in picture 2, but before attaching to the battery. Cables A, B, and C should run over to the left side of the bike, fiddled between frame and airbox. So that's where you get your battery charger terminal out. All right. Okay, let me get this organized on the bike, and then I'll show you how I did it. Okay, got the wiring lined up. So I just routed it, and I'm going to show you because there's just no way I could do it live and make it look nice. Okay, so I undid the left side. I have the bundle with the starter relay down here on this side. Plenty of room on this side of the airbox. So it just runs right down there inside of the filter. Okay. My battery connections are right here, and so they're going to run to the battery right inside the box. I don't have it hooked up yet. I have the wires, 2 battery cables, charger, and the handlebar switch all running right here under the cross member, and they come out right next to the shock mount. Battery charger is going to run right down the frame here, and we'll tie it up so it's away from the chain. I'll shorten it or push the wire back, and it'll be tied right around there. So easy to get to the battery charger if we need it. Okay. Then, let me try and turn my light a little bit. I routed starter wires are running down here underneath the side of the frame and right over here. So here's our positive to the starter terminal, and then the negative main ground for the system is right here on this starter mount bolt, the back one. So great, easy place to do it. Out of the way of the fuel line, plenty of clearance, so that all works well. I'll remove my old ground wire I was using. I don't need that anymore. Okay, flip back up here. And then here's to our handlebar switch. It's going to run right up here along the frame. Plugs right into our handlebar switch connector right there. Right on. So that is our setup for the wiring. Easy, fits well, just the right amount of wire, so no complaints. That works very well. Okay, so I need to get everything tightened up here. I'm not going to show all that. It's not interesting. I'm going to finalize my wiring and all, and then we'll give this thing a crank. So give me a few minutes. All right, got the wiring all connected, not finalized, but great to show you. The starter works. So like I said, this bike's being used for development, so we've got some stuff on here that is not going to show with your standard Fisch electric start install, because I'm controlling the ignition system and other stuff from the battery and working on our new charging system. So ignoring all that, we've got our starter motor installed. Looks awesome. I haven't put oil in it yet, but I think we can do a start without hurting anything. So with this switch in is in the kill position or not start, switch out. Works great. So you can see I killed it from that button because I'm using it to control ignition, which is a different story, but you'll be able to kill with your stock kill switch. So anyways, hope you like checking this out. That's the Fisch electric start system for the YZ250. It is awesome, easy to install, fits perfectly, just overall really well done. So I hope you like it and hope this helps you get your YZ set up for some rad electric starting in the future. Right on. Like, subscribe, follow, try and do more dirt bike stuff. Got plenty of other bikes there to do projects on and stuff. So anyways, yeah, follow. Thanks for checking it out. See you next time.